Without a doubt, we are living in a time of great tension in our country. Race, gender, religion, politics, and policing are a handful of the issues challenging modern society. They're the issues we talk about often on this show. And they're some of the issues being tackled by the group ArtForce 5, founded at Alfred University. Armed with passion and paint, these young people are using art to promote equality, inspire creativity, and build community. Their work most recently took them to Atlanta, Georgia for a special Super Bowl project airing on the NFL Network this Friday. Here to explain how art builds and heals, we have Mawia Elawad and Alexandria Hubble, facilitators with the group ArtForce 5. And welcome to the show. Welcome back to you, Mawia.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So the motto of ArtForce 5 is, in so many words, creativity over conflict. And I'm curious to hear from both of you, just your opinion, what makes art an effective platform that can really address some of these pressing issues that are happening in varied communities? And I'll start with you, Mawia.
I think what really makes this a really interesting form of creativity is that everyone has it and everyone has the capability to tap into it in some form of way. And a lot of the conversations we have when people come up, it's like the first thing they say is, oh, we have not a lick of artistic ability in our body. And we try to challenge that and really help individuals realize that everyone can be an artist, everyone has that ability. It's just really about looking into that subconscious doubt that you have. And we help bring that in a community aspect, so.
Alexandria?
That was awesome. I'd like to point out that art is also a place of vulnerability for a lot of people, and it can be used to express a full range of emotions from sorrow to joy to anger. And I'd like to emphasize that when people get together and they create together and make art together, they're sitting in empathy with each other and they're feeling together at the same time.
So I really want people to get to understand ArtForce 5 at its core. So explain what it is that you do, the types of workshops that you lead, the types of conversations that you facilitate, all under this like really awesome umbrella of art.
So I think I'll start out by saying, like, our motto is that we are not the remedy, we are the reflection.
That's good. We're not the remedy, we're the reflection.
So we take that with us everywhere. And ArtForce 5 is really based on people, college students, alums, community members, who really want to take the opportunity of bringing art into communities to just not only celebrate and rejoice, but also remember and learn important components, whether if it's history or a teachable moment that's relative for today and topics that are happening today. It's just become a very reflective way to get individuals and the community to participate, and also very important dialogues that normally do not have the capability to happen outside of such settings, which goes back to Alexandria's point of that empathy and that ability to provide that vulnerable space for people to have such dialogue through art. And it becomes kind of a way for people to put their guard down and share their stories without really having to feel like there's a compromise behind it. And it ends up bringing people together at the end of the day. The narratives don't change too much, but it's all down to how do people deal with it when it comes to that. So it's just a bunch of passionate people.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the nonviolence workshops, can you address that, Alexandria, and how that ties in?
So I work for the MK Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence, and I'm currently running an intensive right now. I should be there right now, but I'm here for just a little bit. And the empathy and the work that we do there, we use a lot of nonviolent communication skills, like a lot of affect I statements, how to address your needs and feelings, and I bring that to a lot of the schoolwork I do. I work in a lot of Rochester City School districts, and I'm located in Monroe right now, where I use art in just that way, where I'm cultivating this dialogue with students, especially when they're really, really angry at something or upset or feeling lonely, and you're just sitting there, and it's really, it's like almost nothing. It's meditative. And as you're there doing this thing, it could be really therapeutic too. It brings out these emotions in a really gentle way.
And then, so exactly. So that's how we bring individuals like Alexandria to be part of the program, and we bring these sort of workshops into the classroom by pairing with educators and teachers and community leaders who feel like their students may benefit from some of the dialogue and conversation that happens with such work. Sometimes it's at a whim, and we reach out to these kind of, whether it's educators, teachers. We have a very good relationship with Henry Hudson School 28, where we go in and do these nonviolent workshops, and we bring stories of like superheroes and relative individuals today that are making change in communities as a way to, again, act as a therapeutic understanding of how to really overcome creativity, conflict with creativity.
Let's talk a little bit about Atlanta and the Super Bowl. So Art Force 5 was invited by NFL Networks to go to Atlanta to work with the Atlanta Police Department on this really important collaborative project, highlighting and really bringing to awareness the first Black police officers. There were 8 of them in Atlanta. We're talking the late 1940s. So explain the significance for both of you, and the significance for Atlanta of working on this particular project.
I'll start.
Yes, please.
So I think what's really impressive about this whole experience for us is that it was a learning process for me as well. And it's kind of, whenever we do these projects, we always get to reflect on history ourselves before we bring these into the community. So we really had a chance to kind of walk down the same street that these police officers walked down when they first put on their uniform, and a whole parade broke out in the community in celebrating them. And that's that impactful experiences that really just kind of helped us remember that no matter how hard it was, to maybe pull people into these conversations, we've grown out of the experience as well, and kind of helped bring that resilience back that these police officers have had to experience throughout their life. And for those that continue to be part of the police force, we're kind of helping bring that resilience back into the community and helping the community remember the history and how important it is. And it just happened to be like, Black History Month. And so it was a lot of appreciation, and just that area that we were at with the YMCA, where they used to be stationed as a precinct. There was like an African American History Museum, library, resource center there. There was like a small local owned bookstore by an African American woman right near the college. So it's a very historical portion of town that held a lot of significance that may have diminished by the everyday people that walk there that don't realize it. But we just kind of helped bring that story back to the surface.
Alexandria, in terms of reactions, feedback, things that you heard from either police officers or members of the community in Atlanta while working on this project, tell me about them. Just so to kind of dig down a little bit deeper to find out, how were people responding to this?
I sat with the ancestors, the family members of the police officers. I believe it was Sergeant Ernest Lyons' family, and it was 3 generations of them that came to the table, and we sat all together and we painted, and they brought all of these really beautiful commemorative items, like when he was promoted, pictures of him, articles of him in the newspaper at the time. And it was just really special to sit there and watch as the granddaughter spoke about her grandfather, and her mother was there, and it was like bringing someone to life again, having that person sit at that table with me, and I felt invited into their family, and it was really beautiful. And we got a chance to work with them a few more times, and then they came to the display. It was so I felt really connected with the Ernest Lyons family.
And in terms of NFL and the Atlanta Police Department inviting you to be there, I guess what was their goal, their intention of having you work on this project?
I think that their goal was really to kind of help bridge the community and provide that opportunity to not only impact and show the younger generations of the history that's cultivated in Atlanta, but also kind of act as an opportunity to start different conversations and different dialogues. And we kind of got an understanding of that through our experiences as we went around the tables and facilitated the creative portion of the mosaics and everything. How the police officers really valued their community. It was just about finding different ways to have those conversations and kind of bridge that gap. So it was a really great way to partner with the Boys and Girls Club, the police community over there, and bring in like an outside artistic force to really kind of help make sure that that narrative was being captured.
Mm-hmm. Well, I should point out that in 2016, ArtForce 5 was awarded $5,000 for the Democrat and Chronicles Unite Rochester grant, and the group immediately partnered with the Rochester Police Department. You worked on 6 mobile mosaics exploring issues of equality and violence and other current events, and your work since then has just, I mean, you've been all over the country. I mean, you've been doing a lot of fascinating work, and I understand that one thing that you want to do while Alfred University is really the home base of ArtForce 5, there is this deep desire to have significant presence in Rochester for this particular group. So tell me about, what would that look like, and where do you see issues in Rochester where you believe ArtForce 5 can help address and can help build those bridges?
You could start.
Okay, so it sounds kind of goofy, and I think that a lot of initial dreams are really big and voluminous.
Voluminous, yeah.
Voluminous, yes, thank you. I remember Dan talking about having a house here that would be an ArtForce 5 house, and then having alums like me and Mawia to be potentially den mothers and have these activism, artistic activism pieces there, and inviting people in to experience it with us. So yeah.
So the goal is really to build upon that.
Yes, definitely. And just continue fortifying our relationships with community-based organizations, whether it's the city school board, police department, mayor's office, and just kind of acting as a way to really bridge and bring those conversations onto the table and into the community.
Well, unfortunately, we have to close for now, but you have a chance to see these young women and their colleagues with ArtForce 5 in action, working with Atlanta police and NFL players when the NFL Network airs a special edition of NFL 360 Impact and Influence. That's tomorrow night, Friday, February 22nd at 9 p.m. And you can also learn more about the group by going to artforce5.com.